You managed to get what you need?
I have the code.
Suppose I shouldn't be surprised. You did get rid of Kellogg after all. Not too much of a leap to take down a Courser. How'd you manage to get it decoded?
The railroad helped me.
Oh God, those kooks. I would have expected they'd be too busy trying to liberate vending machines or setting computer terminals free. Sorry. They just have something of a reputation. You're not the only one who's been busy. I did the best I could. From memory and things I've overheard through the years. Came up with some schematics for you. Wasn't easy. These hands are ridiculous. Fine motor skills have gone to shit. Here's a simple explanation. You need to build a device that will hijack the signal the Institute... You know the craziest part of the design? That classical music station. That's the carrier signal for the relayers on harmonic frequencies. You've been hearing it all along. I want to be clear that this isn't my area of expertise. I was bioscience, not engineering or advanced systems or anything.
I'm sure it'll work.
For the record, I haven't made any promises, but if you can build this device and make use of that code, you should be able to override the signal from the Institute's relay. I mean, can you build it? You have people that can help. This is a lot for one.
Hi.
Wasn't sure I'd see you again.
I told you I'd get it done.
Forgive me for questioning. You did get rid of Kel. How'd you
Giant green idiot. I've made some...
Better you. You're not the... I did the... Came up. Here's the... You know, all the day...
I'm looking for results.
Yeah. But, can you... I mean, can you...
I got it covered.
Good. Because you've got to make it in there. And don't you forget our agreement. I've helped you. It's my only hope for ever being. Now go on. Take these and get to work. You do whatever it takes. Call on whoever you...
Protect and serve.
What do you need, General?
Can you take a look at these schematics? A scientist named Virgil said they could get me inside the Institute.
Why in the world would you want to mess around with them?
They kidnapped my son.
Damn. That's some... We'll give you whatever help we can. Don't worry about that. Now, assuming you could build this thing...
The Institute uses teleportation.
Teleportation? For real?
Enough.
If anyone can make heads or tails of those plans, it'd be Sturgis. I haven't found anything yet. I'll let you know if I hear of any settlements that need our help. In the meantime, make sure to offer help to anyone that needs it.
What's going on?
Preston thought you might be able to figure out these plans for me.
Sure thing. Let's see what you've got.
Here you go.
Wow. What a mess. Looks like, teleportation. This is some pretty...
I got this from someone who should know what he's talking about.
Well, yeah. Anyway, the eggheads never think about the nuts and bolts of actually making something work. I'm gonna need some time to study this thing. But, you can get started on what he calls... It'll need some pretty high-grade metals, but it's basically not that different than the line.
Ugh. Can you give me a list of what I'll need?
Yeah, sure. Here's a list of what you'll need for the first piece. I'm pretty sure we've got all that at Sanctuary, if you want to build it there. Keep in mind, I can already see this is going to take a... Like if you had a spare nuclear reactor handy, and it's going to be big. So find a nice open...
Blah, blah, blah.
Sturgis.
How's it going? Did you find a good spot to build?
Yeah.
Good. I think I got a handle on this crazy contraption. Here's a list of 3 things that may be harder to find. I'll meet you over at the building site and see if we can...
This isn't going to do anything without power.
Hey, ain't no shame in taking the occasional count. Solomon can hook you up.
If you're thinking safety, a long-range
I'll take a look, sure.
self-defense...
Gun dealers. Arturo.
You need protection.
Sure. Let's take...
Something for...
You been to Good Neighbor? Friggin' walls. Wolves and camheads. all
Hey,
over.
Mo.
Now, don't be shy. You never...
Not right now.
Stop crowding my stall. Here to pick up a swatter.
Let's see what you got.
A swatter never runs out of bullets.
Every piece in here is worth what
Let's see what you have.
odds and ends. Can't remember the last time I had clean fingernails.
Just gotta make sure we've got enough power.
Sturgis.
Everything looks good on my end. You ready to see if this thing actually works?
Shouldn't we test it first?
I wish we could, but we've only got the one frequency code. There's no way to test it without actually jacking into the Institute signal. And as soon as the Institute figures out what we did, and I gotta believe those brainiacs.
Let's do this.
You sure? Okay.
Uh-huh.
I'll start scanning for an Institute signal to lock onto. Then, I fire her up and we see what happens. Whenever you're ready. Okay, hold real still. I don't want any corruption of the molecular beam. Oh yeah, by the way, I figured this was a golden opportunity to find out as much as we can about the Institute, and what they're up to. Yeah, this holotape's all set with a program that will scan their network and download anything it finds. Uh-oh. Yeah, we better hurry. And don't worry about that tubing wiggling around. It's, just there for decoration. Okay. Scanning for the Institute signal. Tracking RF. And... got it. Hold on to your butt.
I wondered if you might make it here. You're quite resourceful. I'm known as Father. The Institute is under my guidance. I know why you're here. I'd like to discuss things with you face to face. Please, step into the elevator. I can only imagine what you've heard, what you think of us. I'd like to show you that you may have the wrong impression. Welcome to the Institute. This is the reality of the Institute. This place, these people, the work we do. For over 100 years, we've dedicated ourselves to humanity's survival. Decades of research, countless experiments and trials, a shared vision of how science can help shape the future. It has never been easy. And our actions are often misinterpreted by those above ground. Someday, perhaps, we can show them what we've accomplished. But for now, we must remain underground. There's too much at stake here to risk it all. As you've seen, things above are unstable. I'd like to talk to you about what we can do for everyone. But that can wait. You are here for a specific, very personal reason. You are here
Sean?
for your son.
Yes, I'm Sean.
Sean. Is that really you?
Who are you?
Sean, it's me.
Father,
I'm your dad.
what's going on? What's happening?
Yes, it's me. Your dad. I'm here, Sean.
Father? Father!
Sean, open the door.
I don't know you. Go away. Father! Father, help me! There's someone here, help me!
Who is Father? Where is he?
Father, help me! He's trying to take me! Father? Father, help me!
Sean. S923, recall code Cirrus. Fascinating, but disappointing. The child's responses were not at all what I anticipated. He's a prototype, you understand. We're only just now beginning to explore the effects of extreme emotional stimuli. Please try and keep an open mind. I recognize that you are emotional, and that your journey here has been fraught with challenges. Let's start anew. I am Father. Welcome to the Institute.
Father? That's your name? Your title?
Father is my unofficial title. It's what I've come to mean to the people of the Institute, just as you mean to your son, to Sean.
I'll make this very simple. Where is my son?
He's here, in the Institute. Closer than you think. But I need you to realize that this situation is far more complicated than you could have imagined. You have traveled very far, and suffered a great deal to find your son. Well, your tenacity and dedication. It's good to finally meet you. After all this time. It's me. I am Sean. I am your son.
How is that even possible?
I know this is a lot to take in. In the vault, you had no concept of the passage of time. You were released from your pod and went searching for the sun. But then you learned that your son was no longer an infant, but a 10-year-old boy. You believed that 10 years Is it really so hard to accept that it was not 10, but 60 years? That is the reality. Here I am, raised by the Institute, and now its leader.
They stole you, kidnapped you. Wasn't right.
Wrong, irrelevant. It was necessary. The Institute believed humanity's future depended At that time, the year 2227, the Institute had made great strides in synth production. But it was never Scientific curiosity and the goal of perfection drove them ever onward. What they wanted was the perfect machine. So they followed the best example thus far. The human being. Walking, talking, fully articulate, capable of anything.
Yeah, you lost me. I don't see the point of any of this.
You don't see the connection. Let me try to explain. The Institute endeavored to create synthetic organics. The most logical starting point, of course, was human. Plenty of that was available, of course. But it had all become corrupted. In this wasteland, radiation affected even in their attempts to shield themselves from the world above. Members of the Institute had been exposed. Another source was necessary. Then the Institute found me, after discovering records from Vault 111. An infant, frozen in time, protected from the radiation-induced mutations that had crept into every other human cell. I was exactly in the Commonwealth. And so it was my DNA that became the basis of the synthetic organics used to create every human-like synth. I am their father. Through science, we are family. The synths, me, and you.
And you've been down here the whole time?
I have. Yes, I know you must have questions. Please. Anything I can do to help you understand.
Your mother. She never got to see you grow up?
Yes. What happened to her was... I've gone over the records of the incident, of course. It seems her death was an unfortunate bit of collateral damage.
Collateral damage? Is that all she was to you?
What would you have me say? The world is a dangerous place? Although I think maybe it always was. It's just a bit more honest. For many years, I never questioned who my parents were. I accepted my situation, and that, with old age comes regret. And asking what if more often. But what matters now is that you and I have a chance to begin again. What else can I say to ease your mind?
Kellogg. He worked for you?
Kellogg. He was an Institute asset long before I arrived here. It wasn't until I became director that I learned of all the things he'd done. What kind of man he was.
You knew the man was a psychopath, but you used him anyway?
Would you have preferred that I turned him loose on the Commonwealth? At least keeping him on a short leash kept the collateral damage to The Institute took advantage of Kellogg's vicious nature. I will freely admit Institute technology prolonged his life, and his usefulness far beyond.
Stupid old man.
He never failed the Institute. But his cruelty I won't lie. It's no coincidence your path crossed his. It seemed a fitting way to allow you, us, to have some
What
amount
else
can
of
I
revenge?
say, to ease your mind.
So you're in charge of the Institute?
I am the acting director, yes. I spent decades working to reach this point. The Institute. It's important.
Ugh. They need your help, Sean. It's rough up there, to say the least.
Surprised? The Institute once tried to help create a stabilized Commonwealth government. It ended in big... No. Ultimately, the Commonwealth has nothing to fear from us. Whatever you've seen or heard, just... I know there's more for us to... The Institute is on the verge of some important breakthroughs. I've been a part of something amazing here.
Shut
And now,
up.
after all these years, you have an opportunity to help with that. Doesn't...
Yes, that's what I want.
I know. I know you've been through so much. Forgive me. I'd assume that after everything I'm sure you've seen above ground, you would be more than a bit... There is much to be done. You'll need time.
Is all that really necessary?
For now, it is enough that you understand that the Institute is now your home, as much as it is mine. Please take some... You'll want to introduce yourself to the division heads. Dr. Fillmore in facilities. Dr. A, and finally Dr. Lee in Advanced Systems. They've all been notified of your...
Call this a clean floor. Are your visual receptors malfunctioning? Can you not see the grime and dust?
Excuse me, Doctor.
You know what happens when people get robots to do all their work? They get fat and lazy, that's real people doing real thinking and real work. That's the future I want.
I don't see any harm in robots helping out.
Robots helping out. You make it sound so...
Someone's
what's being
bitter.
planned here is much more than that. You've just arrived, so perhaps it isn't apparent to you yet. In any case, I suppose I should say perhaps a fresh perspective. Don't make excuses. You're clearly defective, and I intend to report this. Perhaps after you've been disassembled, we can use your components to make something that's actually useful.
Nothing to report, sir.
Dr. Higgs.
Synths aren't human beings, but supposedly they're the future of humanity. I'll never understand it.
Welcome to the Institute, sir.
Reporting status. All functions normal.
Just a routine patrol, sir.
Can't we keep it a little longer?
I will be happy to forward your request to the Bioscience Division. In the meantime, please
You're
feel
here.
free to enjoy
Glad you
one of
made
our
it.
other nutritious...
It's an honor to have you here, sir.
Supplement
I
77.
am sorry, sir, but that supplement is no longer available.
Useless machine.
Have you had time to examine my latest reports on Batch 274?
Not yet. I've been reviewing Father's plans to expand our operations at Warwick.
He's eager to get that going, so I've had to put everything else to one side.
I wonder how the Warwick family is doing. Young Wally must be close to 10 years old by now.
It's remarkable that any child can survive for so long up there, don't you think? I try not to think too much about it. We have more than enough to occupy ourselves Those people are the last remnants of a dying past. It's best not to dwell on
They're
the subject.
still people, and they're suffering. We can at least admit that it's regrettable. After all, how can we hope to redefine mankind if we can't even hold on to our own humanity?
Well, that's a question best left to our colleagues in the robotics division.
Yes, well...
Doc.
Yes, I'm sure that whatever you have to say is very interesting, but now...
If you're busy, that's one thing. But I don't care for your...
My tone. There's no need to take offense. As you can clearly see, I'm deep... Now, how about I get back to those and...
Okie doke. I'll let you get back.
Good.
Dr. Carlin's doing some amazing things with our genetically engineered crops.
Dr. Holdren's Synth Gorilla project is showing promising results.
Nice.
Did you add those new strains of Canthos we discovered to the database? We didn't get along.
Got it.
I'd like it brought back to the lab so I can test the rate of cellular
I'll let them
degeneration.
know immediately.
All this must be a little overwhelming
Isaac.
for you.
Director Holdren seems very taken with you. I'm sorry, but I'm too preoccupied with chit-chat.
Dr. Watson doesn't think I'm Institute material.
Almost done. Just need to tighten up this primary drive servo.
That's the third primary drive breakdown this month, as far as I'm
Remember
concerned.
to keep unnecessary power consumption to a...
Doctor.
Also, if you haven't patched your navigation software, do so after this. It's a real juggling act, trying to keep up. This place might look shiny and new. I lose sleep, worrying about when the next blackout's gonna...
How old are we talking about?
Well, the reactor and a lot of the related systems. You know,
Blah,
most
blah,
of the
blah.
superstructure down here was built later. I guess each generation's been tinkering with the place, adding labs, making up... there's some stuff I needed to... The last thing we need is more synths bumping into walls. All right, that's all for now.
Enrico.
Best part of my day is coming home to my girls. Power demand jumped another 5% this year.
It was probably just a glitch in the nervous system. The fine motor control software user
If it were just a limb twitching, but her eyes were moving as well. Involuntary twitching and rapid eye movements while sleeping can only mean one thing. You just don't want to admit to yourself.
If you're about to launch into one of your passionate speeches about artificial sentience and machine of the soul, I've heard enough of them by now. Write them down.
But we can't just ignore the question.
Hey, Doc.
If a synth can go, why can't it have a soul? If a synth has a soul, then it is a living person by every sense.
No exaggeration to say that they're superior in almost every
You can do
way
what you want with
to human beings.
What makes them superior?
The list of improvements is exhaustive. I can talk for an hour and still not cover all. Imagine what you could accomplish if you could live without fear of hunger or disease. Imagine what you could create if you could spend every waking moment of your life as you saw fit, with no need of, like I said, a momentous time.
Dr. Loken.
If you ask me, the synth software needs a little more debugging.
You know the protocol, sir. Authorized personnel only.
So Dr. Ayo thinks he...
Hi, Doc.
Pass along your message, Doctor.
Welcome. It is so...
Get a load of this guy.
What do you do here?
Oh, I'm in charge of housing and provisions. It's my mission to ensure that everyone lives a You should know that many of us consider it a great see that you do.
Dr. Oberlin.
People on the surface have got it pretty bad. Makes me think.
I'm seriously thinking of heading over to robotics to
Today?
knock some heads
Right
together.
now?
They're dragging their feet on the targeting package upgrades I asked for. Maybe I should take some courses with me. You know,
We're
send
all
the
looking forward to working with you.
Don't.
Doc.
There's enough
So,
friction as it is between us
Here you are.
and pretty much
Justin
all the
Ayo,
other departments.
Acting Director of the Synth Retention Bureau. I'll be upfront with you. We're going to be keeping a close eye. Despite your relation to Father, you're a bit of an unknown quantity. I'm sure.
Why? Don't you trust me?
I'll be honest. You're an outsider. The first outsider to be allowed access to the Institute in quite a long time, in fact. There's little precedent for this situation. It's nothing personal. Now, Father has asked that I provide you with a brief overview of the synth. Our primary responsibility is the recovery of escaped synths that are hiding among the human population on the surface.
Why would synths want to escape?
Synths do not want. They might look like human beings, but they're machines. As to why they're escaping? That matter is currently under investigation. Our main instrument is the Courser, a third-generation synth assigned to operate on the surface. Coursers hunt down and reclaim synths that have escaped the Institute. They are highly self-sufficient, trained in combat, infiltration, and tracking. In a word, our Coursers are relentless. But I gather you know all this, since you've encountered one already. In fact, I'd very much like to know how you defeated it.
I hate to break it to you, but your Courser wasn't all that tough.
Then it's likely the unit was defective. It's rare, but faults can occur from time to time. I suppose I'll have to ask robotics to perform detailed diagnostics on the entire production run. As if we don't have... Now, unless you need something else, I'll get back to work.
If you're the acting head of the SRB, who were you filling in for?
Dr. Zimmer holds that position. He's supervising the retrieval of some of the more high-profile. In his absence, I keep things running smoothly.
So much research, so little time.
I know it'll be a difficult adjustment for you, but try to remember that synths aren't people.
Carry on, sir.
Operating at full capacity.
No visible reaction to the K-14 compound. We'll start the next trial. The dosage will be much larger this time, and the side effects will likely be more.
Will there be any pain?
I honestly don't know.
I wouldn't be here, not for your son.
Now hold still.
It's my responsibility to make sure this place runs smoothly.
Father is more than just
Dad,
our leader.
They're probably still working.
He is our creator.
Scanning. Subject identified.
If you need medical attention, see Dr. Volkert.
Scanning. Unknown identity. Clearance confirmed.
Hey, Doc.
They weren't kidding. You really are? Well, all right. When Father told us about you, if you don't mind my asking,
I just wanted to find my son.
now that you've found him, I hope you're proud of the great man he grew up to be. As you might guess, we keep the Institute's mechanical and electrical systems running smoothly. We maintain and upgrade all of the systems that make it possible to live and work in a place like this. There's a lot of machinery behind these walls that recycles the air and water and provides power to the laboratories. And the work we do might not be as exciting as some of the other departments, but it's at least as important. So, now that you're here and you've spoken to Father, does that mean you're on board?
Absolutely.
Oh, good to hear. It'll be a load off Sean's mind. Take your time. Get yourself acquainted. There's a lot to take in. Plenty of things you won't find topside. If there's anything else you'd like to know about the facilities...
It must be a challenge to meet them.
Absolutely. Over the years, when necessary, we can tap into select sources on... Fortunately, advanced systems... It's a good thing, too, because the demand... You don't even want to know what a single use of the molecular...
Every day, Liam finds some new way to impress us. He's incredibly bright for his age.
Excuse me.
As the Institute's first personal synth.
It won't change anything. You are...
I know that's factually true. It was a real... I must be the luckiest synth in the Institute.
I have to admit, the third-generation synths are really something.
Excuse me.
Once you've settled in, I'll want to do a physical and get a file going on.
Blah, blah, blah. After what I've been...
I should think so. Who knows what... How about you take some time to get comfortable, learn the layout. In the meantime, you come see me. We'll do that checkup when you're good and ready. Take care.
Ugh. Terminal somewhere. Got it.
She's been at it for
Hey.
over 2 hours. What is she even testing?
Nothing. At this point, she's just doing it for fun. Yes?
Well,
Safety first.
that was productive.
Remember
Aye.
that.
Child synth prototype may truly be the key to our future.
Have you seen my girls? I hope they're not getting into too much trouble. Yes? Huh? Yes? Yeah?
Huh? Hi, Doc.
Since you're new here, you should take time to learn.
Like I need a
rules
lecture.
create order.
Words any former.
A man who understands the need for discipline. I had some handbooks made up, but that was years ago.
Sounds good.
Take care then.
One day, I'll design a more efficient reactor to replace that old clunker in the basement.
Excuse me, Doctor.
Oh, hi there. Sorry if I seem distracted. I memorized 5 sets of design schematics, and now I'm doing details.
Show off. That's amazing.
Oh, well, a lot of them.
Whatever.
Anyway, I'm glad you're here. I just wanted to say how much I admire Father. I really hope you'll stay here with me.
Ugh.
Not everything you've heard about the Institute is true. Give us a
Dr.
chance.
Watson.
Rushed work is sloppy at best, and deadly at worst.
You smell like you've been above ground.
I'm trying to learn chess. The computer always beats me.
Hey.
The coursers give me the creeps, you know? They seem, I don't know, cold.
Your presence here is a great gift. Not just to Father, but to all of us.
You know, I love my work, but I love being a father even more.
The best see me as
We
little
are
more than a
honored to
glorified
welcome you here.
repairman. But I'm as much a scientist as any of them.
Lawrence.
What others call complaining, I call critical thinking and challenging assumptions.
Remember to conserve power at every opportunity.